was a blast to watch. It was a blast to watch for just every single game that was out there because, like I said, this leads into the next season. That's what I'm trying to say. This leads into this upcoming season for volleyball. And I even wanted to talk about too soon top 10 for volleyball teams in, 31 to 32 5A. And, it's pretty simple right now, I still think, and I believe everybody would think with me, you would probably still say Sherryland's the outright best team in the Upper Valley in 31 5A. Number 2, probably McAllen Memorial, new head coach coming into this season. But with that being said, with a new head coach, you have players that are coming back. You have some freshmen. So this coach knows how to deal with, of course, freshmen. He knows how to deal with just newcomers. Of course, for McAllen Memorial, like I mentioned, they lost Amari Hernandez because she's a senior. She now plays for Texas A&M University. Notice how I just said Texas A&M University because that's the truth. The 12th man. She is now at College Station, Texas, getting ready for their upcoming season as well. So that was big for McAllen Memorial to have another Division I player in a Power 5 conference move forward in volleyball as well. But like I said, McAllen Memorial, they have a lot of players coming back as well. I would expect them to be a very good side. Most likely would be second. I would have to guess they will lose District 2, Sherryland High School, Sherryland Pioneer being that third team, and potentially, here is where it gets very difficult, because there almost always now will be 6 teams fighting for 4 spots in this district. Because remember, you have Edinburgh Vella. Edinburgh Vella is always a team that you want to look out for consistently. But that is where things get good because you have Mackay, McAllen High School, and you have none other than McAllen Rowe, which Nikki Rowe, let me tell you something, they were a young team last year. They are definitely a more mature team this year. Of course, like I said, we'll have to watch more volleyball in order to see this for this whole entire month before we really get our results that we've been looking for these teams. So it could be completely different where, yes, Sherryland's supposed to be the best team with all the players coming back, but they could end up flopping with a different coach. I mean, I'd be shocked, and I don't expect that because, they looked impressive last night. So that's really where I come from for that. But once again, like I said, that's 2, 3, 4 is a toss-up with 3 teams. Because it's McAllen Rowe, it's Mackay, and it's Edinburgh Vella. Because I would expect Sherryland Pioneer to be as competitive as they were last year, too, where they could fight for that second spot against McAllen Memorial. I wouldn't expect McAllen Memorial to fall off that much, but then once again last year, I didn't expect Mackay to end up almost missing the playoffs. So, like I said, this is a toss-up. This is why I do believe, in my fullest, honest opinion, the 31 5A district is the best district in the Valley for volleyball in 5A. Because again, time and time again in the by-district rounds, 31 5A sweep, 32 5A. That's just not my guess, but that's my expectation that I have for the season. Like I said, this doesn't end until, I believe, July. Well, the end of July is what I'm saying, because they need to finish it up in order for the schools to be able to practice again. Once they're able to practice, all of a sudden you get set a couple of weeks after the Venom and Highway 83 end. You get a couple of weeks or so before tournaments start to happen, where we have the classic Hidalgo tournament, where we have the classic Sherryland, Mission, Mackay with Palm Fest, I believe, or Pound Fest. I forget which one it is. I think it's Pound Fest, but I'm not entirely sure. Point is, you have all these certain tournaments, pre-district tournaments, that you would expect to have. So I'm looking forward to it. That's just on that side. Once again, I haven't even talked about, well, what do I expect from 32 6A and 31 6A? Well, you'd expect Edinburgh North to do really well this season. But then again, you have the hard-hitting Bears of PSJ High School. So that district in itself is another toss-up, where they're going to be fierce, but I don't think they're going to be as fierce as 32 6A. Because remember, it's a little bit of a switch. Because now you have to worry on 32 6A about the one and only Brownsville Vets. And Brownsville Vets in volleyball have always been a solid team. They haven't necessarily been as impressive, but they've been a solid team every single year fighting for district. Of course, it's going to be a completely different district, as they have to fight against none other than Harlingen High School. Harlingen High School looked to bounce back from the year that they had last year, to be exact, and so it's going to be interesting, like I mentioned before. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk a little bit more as we're just past the half hour, to be exact, 2:33 p.m. here on a beautiful Wednesday at Luke Fruia Motors. Once again, this is Talkin Sports here at Luke Fruia Motors with Jake Young. And once again, I want to remind you all, follow us on our socials at Rio Sports Live for Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. You can follow us on Rio Sports Live on TikTok, as well as like us on Facebook at RSL Network. And remember, you can always watch live on our app or on demand. Just search up Rio Sports Live in your respective app store, or Google Play Store, of course, and the Apple App Store. And, well, once again, you can watch us live or on demand on Roku TV. Just search up Rio Sports Live, and you'll find the app on the Roku TV App Store, as well as Android TV. So we'll be right back after this, as we're just past the half hour. Stay tuned.
Sunny Glen Children's Home has provided a place of hope for every child since 1936. If you'd like more information on Sunny Glen and the services we offer, please visit us at www.sunnyglen.org.
Truck Tex in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Tex in Harlingen.
I was fortunate enough to meet Marcelino when he was in elementary school. Now he is a co-worker here. I'm very proud of him. Here at San Pelita ISD, our class sizes are smaller. We get to know our students because we follow them throughout their years, so we're able to make that better connection with them. Because our class sizes are small, we are able to see the kids that are struggling and help them so they don't fall through the cracks.
Back live we go here, just about to hit 2:40 p.m. once again on a beautiful Wednesday here in Brownsville, Texas at Luke Fruia Motors. Once again, this is Talkin Sports here at Luke Fruia Motors with Jacob Young. Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. It's been exciting once again just to update you all on what's going on for Rio Sports Live. Well, it's going to be pretty interesting here coming up as well. I believe this Saturday, instead of the WPF this weekend, we will be covering most likely 7-on-7. And then next week, we will have the Pony Little League World Series, which that should be a blast. The Softball Little League World Series, to be exact, next week. We will also, in addition to that, we'll have WPF in Robstown to cover for the Coastal Bend Tidal Wave. Then as well as that, of course, we will have the Classic on Monday. None other than, well, really, to be fair, tonight, tune in, I believe on Rio Sports Live 1 and Rio Sports Live 2 on both courts for the none other than Highway 83 League. Check it live once again on Rio Sports Live Network off the app stores like we mentioned before, Google Play, Apple Play Store, as well as even on your Roku TV device, Android TV device, or Amazon Fire device. Just search up, once again, Rio Sports Live. That will be tonight, is the Highway 83 League. Tomorrow, on Thursday, we will have day 2 of the Venom League once again, and that will be on both courts. You will be able to watch off of both courts, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, that should be very exciting. As, once again, like I mentioned, it's getting closer and closer. We have this volleyball season. Guess what? It's about to hit, well, halfway through. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's only the 10th of July. But with the 10th of July, we got past really the biggest dead zone, and now it's just heating up to where we will start to see more and more football stuff take place and get you ready for the 2024 season of high school football. Yes, only high school football. And, of course, I believe that will also get us closer. This has gotten us closer and closer to Texas Southmost College soccer, as they will start up their second season and see how they can improve and, well, get some wins under their belt this season. Of course, once again, like we mentioned before, they're still under probation for, I believe this is their final year to get themselves under the belt. So if they're able to start to win, then that is a huge deal. Of course, Texas Southmost College, where are we? We're at Luke Fruia Motors in Brownsville, Texas, so it's not that far away, and it works perfectly. And so I'm very excited if that all goes through, where we will be able to cover Texas Southmost College, and, well, it will be good. Anyway, moving on once again, really there's a lot of things that we have in store, of course, after this next week as well, with the none other than the World Series, the Little League, the Pony Little League World Series up in McAllen, Texas, around that area. We will also be able to cover the games of Texas. Why is that such a big deal? Well, because you have track and field, you have swimming, basketball, I believe, volleyball, from sand volleyball to, I think, real volleyball indoors, as well as soccer at Brownsville Sports Park. So it's all over the place, and it's a real Olympic, basically, and games of Texas. And so that's going to be very exciting to be able to cover. And Rio Sports Live Network, I know, are ready for it and are planning on covering, if not every event, as many events as possible. I know where I'll be for sure, which would be at Brownsville Sports Park covering soccer for at least one of the days, if not both days, for the championship, which would be nice to see. Other than that, really, yes, of course, it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be a little at the same time, because we're always looking for more things to do, cover on the weekends from Sundays. Of course, it's nice to have the WPF, of course, this weekend. We will not be needed up in Austin or the San Marcos area, but other than that, it should be a phenomenal weekend of sports to cover for you all. Moving on once again here, still 1-1, England and Netherlands, 43rd minute. England, of course, controlling a good amount of the possession, almost halftime to be exact, so that is exciting in that match, giving you live scoring updates because, well, it's happening at the moment, which is very cool. Interesting fact to bring up here today is that, well, the WNBA have games going on really across their league right now. Sky and the Dream played. Mercury and the Wings are playing right now, and the Storm and Aces are playing, and that game was at halftime. Why am I bringing this up as well? Well, it's interesting. It's 2:45 p.m. is what I'm trying to get at. You don't normally see this, at least for basketball. You see this more for baseball, where, of course, a couple of games, especially nearing the end of not the end of the season, but the end of their series, they end up playing. So it's pretty interesting to notice that there are some basketball games going on. I looked up if there was any real holiday. Not necessarily. So it's pretty interesting to see. Sky and Liberty play tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then Friday is going to be a couple of good games. Aces Dream, Mercury Fever, Lynx Storm on that Friday. Of course, we all know last week, not too long ago, Caitlin Clark gets her triple-double, the first rookie to ever do that, which is pretty impressive in general. Yes, of course, we had Angel Reese getting multiple double-doubles constantly, but had not been able to get a triple-double and to almost single-handedly lead her team to a real victory. So that's what we had this weekend. Or, yes, this weekend, to be exact. So that was pretty cool. Of course, at the end of this last weekend, really there was nothing more. We have the Chicago Street Race for NASCAR, which was very fun to see. And the coolest thing was, of course, just how the race ended up being. Yes, it should have started earlier. I think if it starts earlier, then you have more sun and are able to finish the race up. But it worked out perfectly for just everybody involved, because I thought it was one of the best races of this season once again. But that's just one of the things that we had this weekend, of course, as it is about to be 10 minutes till. So we'll take one more break, and then when we return, we'll finish up the show. Stay tuned.
At Marine Military Academy, we educate those who dare to achieve. Those eager to control their future before it controls them. Those who can follow a path so they can eventually make their own. Those ready to join in order to stand out. Welcome to MMA, Forging Tomorrow's Leaders.
The storm might have...
Back once again here as it's just about to be 2:50 p.m. Once again, I'm Jacob Young. This is Rio Sports Live Network here at the Luke Fruia Show. Talking sports once again here with Jacob Young. It's been pretty interesting so far. In this whole entire summer, we've been able to cover a good amount of things, but once again, one thing that I missed, well, like I was talking about, the games of Texas in Brownsville. It's going to be a blast. They're doing regionals this weekend as well, which is something to keep an eye on, who's going to make it and compete for, I guess, gold medals or whatever the next time when games of Texas happen. Why am I bringing that up? Well, because it just reminds me of what's coming up here very soon as well in August, not in real life, but just in general in front of the public's eye. The Olympics in Paris. That's coming up pretty soon as well. That's always fun. Again, it's the same deal. You have the swing, you have track and field, basketball, no baseball or softball this year, which is why it was such a big deal for Rio Sports Live to be able to get the women's professional fast pitch, as well as, of course, once again, to get the softball World Series. The Pony Softball World Series was a big deal to get as well for Rio Sports Live. But once again, like I'm mentioning, it's so exciting that the Olympics are coming up pretty soon. And it just brings me joy because, well, all these athletes, of course, made it, living their dream. And it's just so cool to root for your country. And once again, you have soccer in the mix, you have basketball in the mix, and some pretty awesome stuff coming up for everybody in the making for Rio Sports Live. Everything's only going to get bigger, which is exciting. Again, I guess we'll also go into a little bit of football talk here. Guess what's coming out next week for the first time in over a decade? That is the one and only college football 25. Couldn't be any more exciting about that. And so, with really that being said, football is right around the corner in general, and like I mentioned, I wouldn't really bring it up, but I am going to bring it up because it's very fun. Early predictions, 2 early predictions indeed for high school football. It's going to be difficult, but I will definitely say that we will see another miracle run this year. It's not going to be who you think, though. I really do expect it to be a team from the Upper Valley, still 5A, as once again 6A, it's just a difficult road ahead always, because you have to play against those San Antonio schools even in the divisions. But for who's going to make it to that chance of playing Smithson Valley once again, it has to be, and there's no question about it, Edinburgh Villa. I really do believe that they have a good enough team to be able to make a push, not only for the playoffs, the district title, but going on and going to that 3rd round and potentially going to the 4th round, which will be huge. I really do think that can happen. That's going to be a tough district, but I believe that will be the case in the end. And there's really nothing more to say on that note. Of course, that's for 5A. For 6A, like I mentioned, it's going to be tough for Harlingen to really make a difference there. We will have, of course, the Bird Bowl, but that's only going to mean for bragging rights for both teams. And for Harlingen High School, they will need to carry themselves, because remember, it's one of the toughest districts in 6A in the Valley, because you have Los Fresnos, San Benito, a team that really improves every single year but just cannot make that next step. Brownsville Hannah in football. And it's true. I really want to see them succeed. I really do want to see Brownsville Hannah succeed and take that next leap and be able to go for a deep run in the playoffs. But it just every single year seems like they don't have enough. I don't know if this is going to be their year. If they do have enough, I'm sure that the fans will say indeed. It's so tough to judge those teams, and once again, we will get to see it, I guess, a little bit more, maybe one more 7-on-7, if any of that is the case in the end. Again, 2:55 p.m., still about 5 minutes left in this show, so we'll go a little bit longer once more. But yes, in a little bit of the football talk, it's very true to just talk about it. But, I mean, there's only so much because, well, we don't necessarily know what to expect this season. And a lot of teams are playing against very, very difficult teams to start things off. We'll talk about, of course, another school that we normally cover almost every year as well, that I believe still has a channel with Rio Sports Live. That is Brownsville St. Joseph Academy. I've talked to Tino before. He's always a fun man to talk to and talk about football. And they're coming off of a tough season in football, but a great season in soccer. So with that being said, they're looking to bounce back and make a bit of a run to try and go to state as well. And that is a good possibility for them. I wouldn't be shocked if they do win district this season after a tough year last year and have a solid season, make the playoffs, win district, and go on to win or go on to make it to the regional finals and see where they can go from there. I wouldn't be too shocked. Of course, that's on the private school side of things, but it's always fun to talk there. They have to play against Austin schools, San Antonio schools, so it doesn't get easier. Of course, it's private schools. And then, of course, you have charter school football. How does that, of course, look? Well, for Marine Military Academy, they've been good. They're going to lose they have lost a couple of players to, of course, college, as they have officially graduated. That was a crazy part in itself. And so you lose Mackay Becton to college, or maybe he's got one more year. I always forget exactly, but my point is, it's going to be a team that will be there. They have a chance to do something special. Like this past year, we saw their soccer team make it to state. We saw their baseball team make it to state. Now it's time for the football team to step up and do the same thing. Their basketball team, unfortunately, I don't believe did. Were close to. But that's my point. They really do have that good shot. I think really out of all the Valley schools, in my opinion, this is the team that can most likely make it far and to try and go to state in the end. That's just my opinion. Who knows how it will go. But really, we'll end it on that note. I've been Jacob Young. This has been a Rio Sports Live presentation. Remember, follow us on all of our socials at Rio Sports Live. Like us on Facebook at RSL Network. That is really the only different one. You can watch this. You will be able to watch this on demand after it is uploaded on our apps from Roku TV to, of course, the App Store and Google Play Store. You can find it on the app stores at Rio Sports Live as well. So thank you all so very much for watching. I've been Jacob Young. This has been a Rio Sports Live presentation. And until next time, we will see you all soon.
South Padre Island. All the fabulous stores, delicious restaurants, and unforgettable sights are open for business. And there's plenty of summer left to make lifelong memories. Or maybe catch the one that got away. So why wait? You're just a short drive away from the best beach in Texas. Come visit and stay a while. South Padre Island, your island escape.